Welcome to AG's Ace. India's premier left-arm spinner Kuldeep Yadav is desperately looking for a lifeline. He has been left out in the cold for far too long. His confidence has taken a beating, and the famous Kulcha combination between him and Chahal is all a thing of the past. He took a hammering in the IPL once against Moeen Ali. He wept and has never been the same bowler again. But does that take away from what Kuldeep Yadav brings to the table? What can the captain do for Kuldeep Yadav or the team management? Those are things to watch out for, and we'll discuss that today in this take. So, Kuldeep has been warming the bench for more than 3 months now, including the tour of Australia, where he featured in just one ODI. He has so far played only 6 test matches and picked 24 wickets. He played his last test against Australia at Sydney in January 2019, more than a year ago. Kuldeep established himself as a premier spinner with his performances in the 2017 and 18 editions of the IPL, but they remain to a considerable extent forgotten, and his career has gone drastically downhill ever since. He was not picked for the Chennai test where everybody thought that he would be, and instead of that, the person they picked was Nadeem. I feel bad for Shahbaz Nadeem because if a young bowler gets a chance to come in, why should he be compared with someone else? And why should this entire debate be that, oh, why Shahbaz Nadeem? Why not Kuldeep Yadav? But that's a different story. That's how life is. That's how cricket is. Gavaskar said in some of his comments after the Chennai test that maybe in hindsight they could have included Kuldeep Yadav, which would have given a bit of variety. You have two off spinners, Washington Sundar and Ravi Ashwin. Ravi Ashwin is our premier bowler, if not the best off spinner in the world. Washington Sundar is more of a batsman currently, and like a couple of cricket experts pointed out, that he bowls this fastish off spinners and is more suited for T20 cricket or the shorter format. So in Test cricket, maybe that variety is missing. Those loops and flights are missing. Those things that he needs to worry about. So Gavaskar goes on to say that Ashwin is slow in the air. Sundar is slightly quicker, but it was difficult to drop Sundar after his heroics in the Brisbane game, and that is understandable. He deserved a place, and he again scored 85 not out. So batting matters, all-rounders matter, but Gavaskar felt that Nadeem may have just got a little bit nervous because of the number of no balls he bowled, and also he feels that when a bowler oversteps, it's particularly a spinner, it's a sign of being too anxious. It's a sign of nervousness, and that is something that he needs to figure out. Ashwin also bowled a no ball, so these are areas that India need to look at. Maybe they'll bring Kuldeep Yadav for the next test in place of Nadeem or Washington Sundar, whoever it is, but they need to look at dismissing England for lesser than what they scored this time around. I just feel that when Kuldeep was reduced to tears by Moeen Ali, who took him for 26 runs in embarrassing fashion in the 2019 IPL, and India suffered a mauling at the hands of England in the 2019 World Cup, which broke the Kuldeep Chahal or Kulcha partnership for good, things have not been the same for Kuldeep. His confidence has not recovered over the last 2 IPL seasons. He has taken only 5 wickets and has been used sparingly by his captains, even when he's part of the playing 11. The fact that MS Dhoni has retired has also played a part, and Kuldeep himself has said that he misses the absence of the former captain and his wisdom from behind the stumps, and the way he would ask him to bowl where, he would set the field for him, assist him. So that was massive backing. In the 6 tests that Kuldeep has played, he has impressed. He got the better of 5 Australians on a wicket that didn't have much to offer in the last test that he played in Sydney, and he was India's most potent weapon. That has been talked about, but still he doesn't have the confidence of his skipper, Virat Kohli. And since then, Ravi Ashwin and Ravi Jadeja, they have elevated the game to such an extent that it has become impossible to drop them. Also, the fact that the batting has improved dramatically, and Kuldeep somehow or the other has been sort of sidelined because of that. There were certain rumors circulating that for the day-night test he would be useful, particularly the way he bowls with a ping ball. But again, Ashwin got the nod and he made full use of it. Other spinners and other all-rounders have come into play, like Akshar Patel, like Washington Sundar. They are very good with the bat also. They are good fielders. And maybe Kuldeep is feeling the heat more and more. Michael Vaughan said it was a ridiculous decision by India not to play Kuldeep Yadav. If he isn't going to play at home with the injuries they have, when is he going to play? That was his point. Kuldeep Yadav's coach Kapil Pandey was more forthright and tough. He says, had he been playing for some other country, he would now have had at least 50 test matches and 200 wickets to show for. And what has he done here? Wasim Jafar can't help but feel sad for Kuldeep Yadav. Since August, he's been traveling from one bio bubble to another, and he hasn't got a chance to showcase his talent. Of course, he's bucked him up. Deep Das Gupta, former test wicket keeper, said in Australia there was an opportunity for him to get selected. Where does he stand now? I think that's an important question. Someone like him needs to get an answer for. What does he have to do to get selected? That must be a question that Kuldeep Yadav must be looking for. He's a unique bowler. He's one of those left-arm wrist spinners who's a rarity. He's just about 25 to 26 years old. He has the maturity also. That's the time where they really take off. But listen to Virat Kohli's quote at the post-match press conference where he says, when he was asked that did he regret not taking Kuldeep, he says, not really, not at all. When you're playing two off spinners, Kuldeep becomes more or less the same kind of spinner taking the ball away. So he doesn't have the confidence of the captain, which is hurting him. Now, in my take, again, I'm going to say that Sourav Ganguly had problems with Murli Kartik back in the past. Murli Kartik kept bowling in one or two test matches. Sourav Ganguly said that rather sarcastically that I stood in the slit throughout the day waiting for the ball to turn, and it didn't. It really cost Murli Kartik a large part of his career. Of course, having met Murli Kartik recently, he avoids mentioning Sourav Ganguly or anything like that at all, prefers to play the diplomatic route, and he's a now established commentator. And with Sourav Ganguly being where he is, who wants to take on cudgels against Dada? Sensible approach by Murli Kartik. But the point is that he lost the confidence of his skipper then. Maninder Singh had a very tough time getting back into form once he was dropped. He had lost the confidence of captain Azharuddin. Harbhajan Singh, in fact, is a separate story. He wept when talking about the massive support that Sourav Ganguly gave him, and that changed his life. Kumble was again backed by Ganguly, and he took him to a series down under to South Africa when possibly the team management didn't want him. In the past, if you remember, Bedi Prasanna and company saw their careers end by marauding Pakistani batsmen like Zahir Abbas and the dust bowls of Pakistan, hundreds after hundreds, and it finished their careers. Shane Warne, a huge favorite of mine, he had the aggression of a fast bowler, plus the guile and control. Muralidharan could spin the ball prodigiously, which shows that's why he is on top of the table. Kumble had that unerring accuracy. Whether he got any success or not in certain sessions, he would keep bowling that same line, that same accuracy, same nagging accuracy, and it got him to a massive scale, and he's fettered for that. Kuldeep, I feel, needs to get his confidence back. That is the most important thing for Kuldeep to concentrate on. He needs to get his confidence back, and back soon. He's a terrific talent. Possibly, if Virat gives him another chance, if the team management backs him, he would get back into the groove. He does deserve a chance. Thanks for watching.